Hey everyone, it's the average sim racer here, and today we're going to be starting my first episode of the My Team mode in F1 2020. This is a really exciting mode that they have put in this game. You get to start your own team, create it from scratch, and yeah, this is the first time that they've ever done something like this. It's going to be really fun. So I got my avatar here, Mr. Average Sim Racer. That's his name, and I'm sticking with it. And as far as the team name is concerned, I went ahead and went with Arrows F1. Saw a bunch of stuff on Reddit and YouTube where people are bringing back teams, and I didn't know what team name I really wanted, so I picked Arrows F1 because it stood out to me. Um, and then as far as the sponsor is concerned, didn't really know what to go with. I just decided to go with the first one because we're just playing it by ear. I didn't really watch any like recommendations on what to do with this my team mode. I kind of wanted to do it blind. Um, no recommendations at all, no previews of what to do, so that I could get it right the first time. I just I wanted to be it like a real thing and just have some trial and error in this, learn from my mistakes. And it seemed like the first sponsor was balanced enough, so I went with that. And then the power supplier, I went with Honda because I had Red Bull and Toro Rosso in my career mode in the last game, and I like the Honda power plant, even though in this selection it was the worst option out of all of them as far as stats are concerned. The less performance, less durability, but it wasn't that much, and they were the cheapest engine out there, so I decided to take it. And then as far as my teammate is concerned, again, I didn't really know what to go with. I know that Mick Schumacher was probably the best option out of all these drivers as far as value is concerned. But I was originally going to pick Mahavir because I wanted to have some fun with it, try to get him to improve. But in the end, I went with Tatiana Calderon. I thought she was balanced enough, and yeah, have a woman driver in F1. Create some diversity. So those were my team settings there. And then with the livery, I decided to go with the arrows all black because those are one of my favorite liveries of all time. The 1998 car, such a badass looking car, and that was the livery that I was gonna have anyway, whether I named my team Arrows F1 or it was a different team, because I always love these kind of liveries, especially like the Mercedes now. And then another example is the 2001 Minority. So yeah, this was the livery I wanted to go with. Then the overalls, yeah, there wasn't really any good choices with what I had available. I decided to go with this one because I guess it matched. It was the one that best matched the livery that we had for the car. Then badge, I didn't really want to do this one, but yeah, I decided to go with the A. And then I decided to go with this hourglass looking thing because it was the closest thing they had to, I guess, the shape of an arrow. And again, went with the black color of the logo. Then team colors, went with the black stripes with the white minor stripe. 22 races. I'm going to go for the full season. Decided to go with the 100 difficulty because yeah, it's impossible for me to do 110. It's just way too hard. All right, so here we are just cycling through everything in the modules of this My Team mode. Just going through, reading through everything that is important. So this R&D mode thing is still the same from the previous game, from the career mode. So that's no different. Same with the power unit allocations as well as the gearbox and tire wear. You can monitor. And then this is the corporate secondary sponsor menus and then the standings. So yeah, just getting familiarizing myself with all these menus and submenus are from the My Team mode. As you can see, the driver salaries as well. It's an interesting thing to see there. Then the team balance. See, you can manage your finances, and then you can edit your car livery and your characters again. Change the colors if you want. Cycling through everything so I don't confuse myself. And we advance the time, and we're in Australia. So here we go for the first practice session. Not going to show you everything, just get a quick glimpse of what I was doing. Um, so I did 5 practice sessions. I tried to perfect all of them, but the qualifying on 100 difficulty was just way too impossible for me to achieve. So yeah, this was just a summary of everything that went on. Uh, the team acclaim points, don't know what that is yet. I have to read up on what that is, but yeah, we improved that, and then we're on to qualifying. I do short qualifying sessions because I really don't have time to do the full qualifying mode, but this was my last lap. As you can see, the checkered flag is up there, and yeah, I was driving pretty hard. Um, I think I got a good run on this one. I didn't really make too many mistakes. The car felt better than I expected it to be. I thought there would be a lot of understeer. Put a good setup on it through the practice sessions, and we crossed the line with a 122.599. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. Put me in 18th place, and I was 5 tenths ahead of my teammate. So that's pretty good first qualifying session, and considering I haven't really played this game all that much, still getting used to the handling model. It's a lot different than F1 2020. But here we go with the race. Very exciting time, our first race. Let's see what happens. There's a guy standing on water, the famous guy standing on water. I think most people have pointed him out. It's Jesus. So I went with more fuel. I usually do that because I like to have the car in rich mode. Have it all high powered in the beginning as we get off to the line, and I'm oversteering like crazy. That was my first start I ever did in the game. Miss Calderon is overtaking me on the outside, but I was able to outbrake her into the first corner, and then everything going smoothly here. No crashes just yet. And then I'm diving up the inside of Magnussen there, trying not to get my front wing broken, just driving really gingerly, taking it easy, giving Magnussen some room on the left. I see a red arrow behind me, meaning that he's close. And then, yeah, everything was smooth from that. Just trying to keep up with the pack in front of me, but eventually they started gapping me a little bit. Yeah, that car was really tough to handle in race trim, as opposed to what the car felt like during the practice and qualifying sessions. I had more fuel on board. I fueled it up plus 3 laps because I like to have a lot of fuel on board at the start of the race. That's my preference, but I think in the end it kind of turned out to be a mistake, and I'll explain later. But yeah, just trying to keep pace. Um, Doing pretty well, actually. I mean, Grosjean was gapping me a little bit, but they weren't pulling away too much. There was a little train behind, I think it was Ricciardo, that was slowing down this pack. I think he had a problem with his car. And then someone blew up here, and that was Lando Norris. And yeah, that put me up another place. I was up to 15 here now. And then that was Kevin Magnussen trying to sneak up on me. I was getting distracted by Lando Norris's blow up. But then we get a virtual safety car, and I don't know where that came from. I think it was maybe from the Lando blow up, or maybe something ahead of us. Not too sure what fired the virtual safety car. I didn't really want to go through the replays because I just wanted to keep my rhythm. But yeah, so I'm trying to keep this delta close to 0 as much as possible. It's really hard because it's hard to find this balance here, and I ended up kind of making a mistake here as the virtual safety car was ending. Here we go. And then Kevin Magnussen just blew by me because there's nothing I could do. I was still getting used to this new ERS mode where you have medium or overtake. There's only 2 modes. So yeah, trying to get used to that mode. So Magnussen ends up pulling away from me a little bit, still trying to keep a track of me, and I'm just really struggling with the car now. And that virtual safety car put me in a fuel delta that was just way too high now. I have way too much fuel on board. I try to put it on rich mode, and the fuel on board just wouldn't go down. And here's Miss Calderon trying to overtake me on the inside. I leave her space on the outside, and yeah, she just backed off a little bit. But here she comes on the inside again. Try to leave her some space, but she taps me in the back, and she's trying to ruin my race. Really crazy. And yeah, I was able to hold that slide real well. But after that, she wasn't much of a problem for me. I think the team called her in and said, "Hey, hey, keep it down. Uh, that's the owner you're driving on." So anyway, starting to catch up with this little snake again, and I think it was Ricciardo again that was causing all this backup, a lot of traffic, and yeah, he seems like he had a problem. Some cars overtook him, and there was a snake with Grosjean and Magnussen behind Ricciardo. So I'm just trying to keep pace. I'm pushing hard, just using my ERS, using overtake mode. I didn't want to use too much of the overtake mode. I'm still getting used to how all that is used. Maybe probably should have used more than what I was really using, but I was just being way too conservative with the ERS. Still a learning process with that new ERS system. So yeah, just getting the DRS there, and then now we come in for the pits on lap 10. And I'm getting used to this pit limiter too. Normally I don't use it, but for this mode I decided to use it. And we're gonna go on the hard tires as we come in for the pits. And then my pit team is really good. I didn't expect it to be at 1.9. There was a little 1.9. There was a little bit of delay there. And, yeah, off we go. And oh man, I'm just struggling with the rear. Just getting used to this new handling and physics model I guess this game has. It's really different to F1 2019. And I'm just on the hard tires now. They're cold, and I'm just struggling to get it all sorted out. And my fuel delta is now +4, so there's nothing I can do with that fuel delta. It's not going down. So somehow this car is fuel efficient, so really struggling with the handling now. The car just feels way too sluggish, and there's just too much understeer. I'm fighting it, and then just struggling to keep up with the snake there. So we got a safety car, and you'll about to see who caused it. It was Kimi Räikkönen, and I almost drove into him. And this is what happened to him. Just crashing. I don't know what exactly happened to him. That was what the replay caught. I couldn't rewind it in time to see what happened before his crash. But I decided to go in the pits for the medium because I really hated the hards on the heavy fuel load. I would have loved to have gone on softs, but wasn't deep enough into the race to switch to it. I was only halfway through the 50% distance. So yeah, we go into the medium tires. Basically really had nothing to lose at this point because I was way down the field. And again, my team's pit stops, they're really good. So we flip off the pit limiter and use a little bit less gas there as I, still trying to learn the model of this game. And then somehow Verstappen ended up in 17th. I don't know what he did. I think he also went for the medium tires, but compromised his race position. So yeah, I don't know what the deal with that was. But anyway, here we go. Safety car ends, and the snake just pulls away from me. I'm really struggling with the handling of this car with +4 on the fuel delta. And then Verstappen and Latifi are going at it, and Verstappen easily takes him on. And you can see the AI is oversteering, so that's a nice touch that F1 2020 put out in this game. And there I go, locking my wheels, just trying to keep up with the snake. I'm trying to overtake the people ahead that have hard tires. That's why I went on the medium tires, just try to make some positions here. My goal was, at this point of the race, was probably about 15th place. Gasly was hounding me from the back too. So now we're going to try to line up Latifi here on the straight. I'm going to have the DRS here. And punch the overtake mode. My engine's in the rich fuel mixture. And yeah, trying to get Latifi there. He tries to outbrake me, but I do the switchback on him, and we pull away from him quite nicely. And yeah, just putting it in the overtake mode. My fuel's in rich mixture still. And then now I'm going to be lining up my teammate here. Getting the overtake mode on. Getting the rich fuel mixture on here. And then DRS is enabled. So I actually didn't have DRS with that Latifi pass. I just realized that was all me. And then here we go. We're trying to catch up to Calderon here, but she's doing well to hold her position, and she was fighting George Russell in front of her. They both had hard tires on, and a couple of laps went by. I was really getting frustrated with this battle. There was nothing I could do because Calderon was also getting DRS, and I'm sure she was on overtake mode for quite a bit. I know in the previous game the AI had endless amounts of overtake mode ERS, so I wouldn't be surprised if they had endless amounts of overtake mode in this game. So yeah, again, just struggling to overtake Calderon and Russell. They're holding up my progress pretty well, but it's really hard to overtake in this track, especially when the car in front of you is also getting DRS activation. And I think George Russell has a pretty decent driver rating. So Gasly just blows by me in the back straight, and I just didn't really fight it because hopefully I figured that he would fight Calderon and Gasly and, you know, help me kind of have them distracted so that I could try to get by them, because really I just had nothing to lose here. 17th place isn't any better than 18th place, I guess, but still felt bad that Gasly just blew by me like that. I guess that's the Honda engine power plant showing its weakness. So yeah, we're fighting hard. Gasly and Calderon are battling together, and Gasly is going to take her on the outside, and I follow suit with him following on the outside, and I get the DRS and just follow Gasly along the second straight as we overtake Calderon. So that was my plan kind of coming into fruition there, and then I was hoping Gasly would distract Russell the way he did Calderon, but Russell was doing a great job holding his position. And really, I was just following these two because they were just battling it out, and Gasly had the DRS, and I was just struggling with my handling as my fuel delta was now 4.20 plus. So just really struggling with the handling, and yeah, adding fuel was really a really bad idea. This car is basically good at fuel efficiency, so the next race I'm not going to add any more fuel. So this game is just way different from any strategy you can employ in F1 2019. So I learned that the hard way. And again, yeah, just line of stern with these two cars, Russell and Gasly. Couldn't do much. Gasly had the DRS, and yeah, there was just no way I could overtake him. Then I go up for a desperate dive on the inside, because why not? It's lap 28. Break my front wing, and that was the end of my charge. Pretty careless of me if it was a real life kind of overtaking maneuver, but I just had to go for it because, you know, I wanted to try to have a chance with Russell in the last lap. But I limped the car home with the broken front wing. Calderon finished less than a second behind me, so we had a formation finish in 17th and 18th. So I qualified 17th and I finished 17th, and yeah, that was the end of that. So a lot of lessons learned. Having the weak power plant with the Honda engine hurt me a lot, and then putting a lot of fuel hurt even more with that race. So yeah, that was kind of a disappointment. I hope to have at least finished higher than 17th, and really just wanted to at least finish 15th. And then I hurt my team with that front wing damage. So that was my first race, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care.